Welcome back, Duelists. It's Wednesday, so it's time. It's time to do the common charity test hands for the Cyber Dragon common charity build. And you know what? I'm just going to shuffle over here because I think that's a little easier than me knocking over the camera. I already had to restart this twice because I've already done it twice. So just a little recap with this deck. This deck is, since it's meant to sweep, honestly, you want to go second. You want to go second more often than you want to go first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a couple seconds first. And then we'll do one hand going first just to see what would happen. Which is the real reason why there's traps in this deck. Otherwise, it would significantly just be all spells. It'd be just spells and monsters and trying to win in one go anyway. So, we're going to do that. Cut the deck, set it down. Okay, so I'm gonna go second. So we got our machine dupe and our power bond. So I'm already loving this because I'm already thinking about just 8K cyber end with piercing, or I'm thinking about cyber twin at 56 twice. I got a cyber dragon. That's good news. Got Veer, that's okay. And we got 1 for 1. So, I mean, we've got the play. We've actually got a couple plays now. It'd be kind of cool if we drew Overload. Let me get Overload. Now we got Core. Okay, so, cool. We got the Core. We didn't need the Core because we had the 1 for 1. And I'm going to show you guys the weird one where we're going to use Noster. So, let's go 1 for 1 right off the rip. You're going to send your Cyber Dragon to the discard pile, and you're going to search deck for Noster. And there's a Noster. So, when Noster is special summoned, if it is normal or special summoned, you get to target a machine monster with 2100 or, A or D in the graveyard and special summon it. And you cannot special summon for the rest of the turn except machines, but that's fine. Essentially, we're just using the 1 for 1 to play the Cyber Dragon and the Noster at the same time. And I don't know why I'm shuffling, because again, that's just going to be a waste of time, because your next move is going to be to play your machine dupe on Noster, which is now Cyber Dragon, which would have us going back in our deck for 2 more copies of Cyber Dragon. And again, guess I didn't shuffle this as well as I thought I did. We'll set this here, and if I have to shuffle it, then we will. But what we end up with is we end up with 4 cool monster cards. We still have our normal summon. Actually, since we were able to special summon those guys right there, we should be able to play out our Veer as well. When this becomes Cyber Dragon, you can special summon this card from the hand in defense position. Only uses effect once per turn. Bloop. We could go ahead and summon him. Sorry. And this is kind of making me wish that I had Cyberload Fusion in this deck, because what we were going to be able to do now is go into a Power Bond. And again, it doesn't matter which 3 you pick, because everybody is the same right now. That would be a Power Bonded, again, Cyber End, which is, again, really cool. If you guys had wanted to go Nova first, we could have overlaid 2 of our level 5s, which would have been fine. But since we still had our normal summon, if we had the Cyberload spell card in this deck, which I didn't work into it, you could normal summon the Core, and then again, you could either make out another Cyber End, and again, this one would just be 4K, so you'd send like the 4, then the 8 for the direct, or if they had 2 defensive monsters, you guys could always set up a Cyber Twin Dragon at this point, and crash both Cyber Twins, which would be fine. Tons of plays, honestly. So that's kind of a cool first one. And again, I'm sure that there are better decks than this, but guys, peep the name on the mat. I know somebody out there is going to be upset and be like, well, you didn't play the card that lets you tech in, an Uno reverse card and, some apples to apples with the Queen of Hearts. And I'm going to be like, you're right. You're right. I came here to have a ton of fun today with some Cyber Dragon test hands. And that, my friends, is what I'm doing. You know what? I might as well shuffle on the camera. By now, if the camera falls, I'll just catch it. I'll just catch it. I hope I'll catch it. Let me say it that way. And we'll go ahead, we'll cut that once and put that all at the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead and get our 5. So let's see what we get. We get the machine dupe again, so very strong. We got Noster again, very strong. We got Strike, so, you know, if you're going first this time, you do have that for some setup. We did get the Cyber Emergency and Jizakuru, so not terrible, not the world's best, whatever. We still get to draw a card. We got Core, so that's, again, that's really good. And then what we get to do is we get to make these same decisions. So if we want to do a very similar hand to the last one, it's as simple as using the Cyber Emergency to grab out our Cyber Dragon. And I'm just going to pick up the deck and not shuffle it. Hopefully, I can keep myself from shuffling it. So, okay. Cyber Emergency for Cyber Dragon. Noster effect, pitch Cyber Dragon, revive Cyber Dragon, or revive it, yeah. Machine dupe on Noster. Gives us 2 more Cyber Dragons. Again, we do not have our... We don't have any fusion capabilities, so... This one will be slightly different. And good all the same. So, now we've got all these. And again, I'm guessing I maybe should have built this deck a little differently. One of my first moves is going to be to generate our Seeger, I think. So we're going to want to take those guys and pop Seeger up top. And now that we've got Seeger, this card's become Cyber Dragon during each battle phase. That's fine. He's the one who helps power up. Next thing we can do is we can go into Nova. And again, we'll just stack our 2 5s for Nova. And now, because we have the target when we pitch, we could pitch the Cyber Dragon for the effect, since there's already a Cyber Dragon in our discard pile. Detach card, then target. Maybe you don't actually need that target to be there, but I like to think it plays a lot like Lumina. And this will allow us to target 1 in our graveyard, special summon it. So boom, there we go. Now we got that field. Again, I'm not sure how we're going to slice through an opponent. We still do have our core. Again, not a lot of options, but we could go into the Cyber Repair Plant, or we could grab an emergency. My issue is the core setup right here is just not as strong, because I don't think that the Seeger Nova can really do what we need to do. But we do have 3 at 21. We do get 3 attacks out of this test hand. And again, if the Nova gets broken, we either go into our Barbaroid, or we go into a Cyber End Dragon based on what we think is going to fit. Either way, it's all good. And we can throw that Solemn Strike. So that's 2 test hands going second. Let's do 1 test hand going first. Just show you guys the difference about why this deck really does like going second more. And let's see how defensive we could set this up. And again, we don't have Infinity. Infinity is just not something that you're going to find in Common Charity, because it just doesn't exist at the rarity level that it would need to be accessible. So we'll focus on Infinity plays in the next 2 days when we go to our upgraded just Cyber Beatdown build. So that'll be fun. Okay, let's do our little smush cut, move half, and let's go ahead and get our 5. See, I almost knocked it down. Almost did that again. And for suspense sake, let's reveal them one at a time. So we got Lost Wind, kind of amazing. We know that's going into back row. Got a Power Bond, so maybe we can set up a character. Cyber Repair Plant, no activation yet. We got Jizakuru, kind of off-putting. Okay, we got Cyber Dragon Core. So, probably the worst go first hand I've had in a while. That said, you can still generate a card here. It's just not going to be a good one. So if we take a look at our extra deck, we do get the ability to tech a couple of things real quick, but not really. In order to activate our Repair Plant, we would need a card already in the discard. So we are going to have to burn our normal summon to play our Core. Core will probably give us Cyber Emergency in this instance, because going for the Cybernetic Revolution right now is too much of a telegraph and let your opponent know that you really don't have a play. So again, you'll go for that. And since you already placed this character, you're probably going to want to go after like Noster. Noster's probably your best bet. Noster could still play. You could play it off the Jizukuru. May not be a good idea because, again, all your characters are counting as Cyber Dragon right now. So one of your better moves, you could set up a Seeger. It's just a quick 2-link. That could be fine. Or honestly, just a Cyber Twin powered up through Power Bond. And again, in order to do that, what we would do is we would Dragon Core into the emergency. We'll just show it real quick because that'll be my move. So we'll keep that in mind. We need that anyway. So we'll get the emergency off of our normal summon. So play that, grab this, play this, add this to hand. Power Bond, hand and field. Field counts as Cyber Dragon, hand is Cyber Dragon. Cyber Twin at 5,600. We choose to take the 28 during the end of the turn. We can go into a Cyber Repair Plant play. At which point we should probably put our core back in the deck, just in case. And we will go ahead and shuffle. Or, you know what? Rather than doing that, let's grab that core back out of there. You would grab another core out of your deck. Because the goal here would be to try to get it set up to where you could actually go into the machine dupe next turn. And right now, what we do have is we do already have one of the Cyber Dragons out. So 3 duplications still in the deck plus an Upstart Goblin means there's 4 cards left in the deck that could get to you to the card, either directly or indirectly. And so that'll depend on what you draw next. And I'm trying not to pay attention to my hands so that I don't cheat that shuffle on accident. So then your hand would be a card that's going to count as Cyber Dragon anyway, so that we could out the Jizukuru if we have to next turn while netting us 1 more card. And we are going to have the Lost Wind. And the Lost Wind, again, applicable for up to twice, plus our next draw card. It's going to be limiter removal, so that should be interesting with a already doubled over Cyber Twin Dragon, should it survive. And again, 5,600 points. You don't know if your opponent's going to be playing Kaiju as well. So there's a lot of variation of what could happen to you during the next turn. So again, it's just not as stable as the main game build. And I'm sure that you guys are going to notice that here over the next couple of days when I do that build. And again, a lot of this comes from just synergistically trying to abuse the machine duplication with the 2 small Cyber Dragons to go ahead and then either use your limiter removals or your power bonds for your big summon. And then my favorite part is being able to use the overload fusion afterward. If we could find a copy to illustrate. And it gives us some more tech options without having to actually hold our fusion materials within the hand and field. Now they could be in the discard pile, we can remove them. And then that's how we can play out our Chimera Tech Rampage and our Over Dragons. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed this. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. Either way, thank you so much for stopping by and checking this one out with me. If you missed the deck, it's still on the channel. It will be for some time. Go ahead, check it out. And if you guys are excited for the deck coming up tomorrow, another Cyber Dragon build, more of an OTK in the main game, something that you could definitely take to locals, stop on by again tomorrow. Maybe subscribe to the channel and let your friends know. You guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Later.